Welcome into Jets Game Day presented by Audi. I'm your host, Caroline Hendershot, alongside my friends Eric Allen, Bart Scott. Hope everybody at home is having a happy holiday and has enjoyed the holiday season. Gentlemen, before we get to the matchup, I do just have to know, what are your holiday habits? Are you guys late shoppers, early shoppers? Do you wrap your own presents? That's a good question.
I wrap my own presents, but I'm the OG. I got grown kids, so I just give them exactly what they ask for. I get a spreadsheet from my 17-year-old. I just get what she tells me. The little one, easy peasy. All he asks for is a lava lamp. You know, I feel like I'm not a good father if that's all I got him. So I got him some more gifts, and of course Santa got him something. But EA, he's still dealing with boo-bahs and Legos.
So I got some white in my beard. I am more seasoned than Bart. I will lean on the ultimate guy with white in his beard. That's Santa Claus. He takes care of everything for everybody.
And he does all of the wrapping, I am sure. Okay, let's get into this Jets-Patriots matchup because the Jets return to MetLife for their final home game of the 2025 season, and they're taking on an AFC East rival with the Patriots, who are coming off an incredible win against the Baltimore Ravens, where they erased an 11-point deficit and really showed, I think, the entire league what they are made out of. So let's get out of the tunnel and discuss this matchup. EA, the Jets get to play a role on who wins the AFC East division. Now, between all these scenarios, New England sits at 12-3 while Buffalo sits at 11-4. What do you kind of think of just the role that the Jets are getting to play in these scenarios? And a win would open the door for Buffalo.
Well, Bart is really going to like this one because Aaron Glenn wants his team to play Grinch, play spoiler against the New England Patriots. Bottom line, New England has destiny in its own hands. If they beat the Jets and then beat the Miami Dolphins, they will in fact win the AFC East. But like you mentioned, Caroline, if the Jets spring the upset at MetLife Stadium on Sunday, that means Buffalo will have an opportunity. All they would have to do is win their final two games. But the Jets will play a role there too, because the Jets finished the season at Highmark Stadium in Western New York.
All right, Bart, these next two games have an impact on the division and with seeding. So how much pride should the Jets team take in trying to spoil the party for this team?
I mean, I think the Jets should be the world's biggest hater. I mean, if I can't go, you can't go. We can't stop them from going, but we can make sure that, we be nice and physical, make sure that they're not healthy going in. And I'm not saying hurt them, I'm just saying the physicality, make it a tough game so that they're wore out when they get to the playoffs. So hopefully they can be joining us in Cabo or Turks and Caicos or wherever we are at, say, hey, yeah, you guys lasted 1 week longer than us. Come on, hang out. Here's a pina colada.
Here's a pina colada. All right, well, speaking of pina coladas, let's get into some top storylines presented by HCL Tech. Bart, what is your top storyline for this week's matchup?
Preventing a run, stopping explosive runs. The Patriots have, I believe, five touchdown runs over 50 yards or more, explosive runs, which allows them to be able to have access to throwing the ball deep because the linebackers come up, create tremendous space behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. You stop the run, make them one-dimensional. Now you can have better eyes, from your linebackers and your safeties because they're not so concerned with coming up with and stopping the run.
EA, what about yourself?
I'm going to go with run too, but wrong side of the ball. I'm going to go to the Jets offensively. Breece Hall is 46 yards shy of 1,000 this season. That would be the first time he's reached that mark in his career. With that being said, Brady Cook was sacked 8 times last week against the New Orleans Saints. The Jets need balance offensively. And then flip it to the other side of the ball. Chris Olave had a big game against this Jets secondary. I thought some of those guys did some really good things back there. Malachi Moore and Quantez Stiggers are a couple to name. But with that being said, the Jets have to neutralize Drake May to Stephon Diggs because that connection has been electric throughout the season.
And of course, I think, speaking of Breece Hall, if his first 1,000-yard season in his career came against an AFC rival like the Patriots, I think it would be that much sweeter for him. All right, when we return on Jets Game Day, we'll be hearing from players and coaches when Jets Game Day returns. Top Storylines is presented by the official digital transformation partner of the New York Jets, HCL Tech. Supercharging progress. Jets Game Day is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today. Or visit AudiOffers.com for more information.
This will be the last home game, the last chance to show these fans what you're building this year. Do you use that as an inspiration for you?
Absolutely. Especially against this team that we're playing. Again, we plan on going out there and giving our best, playing with effort, but we plan on going out there and winning the game also. All right, and we do. We want to go out there and put on a really good showing for our fans. We know it's our last home game. We look forward to it. We know it's a really, really good opponent, so there's nothing better than us going out there and probably spoiling what they're trying to accomplish as a team. And, man, just making sure our last game is a game that our fans can remember.
What was the process like for you calling plays? I mean, you did it in the preseason, but a little bit different in the regular season.
I think the operation went well. It went well. I had great support from our coaching staff, from AG. So the process of it went well. I felt good out there, being able to call the plays, getting ready, having to get used to touching the mic to communicate with Sherwood in the headset and those things. But getting that dust off, and I felt good about the process.
What can you take away from that first matchup with the Patriots in preparation of this game?
The Patriots, they're a very tough physical team, and that's something that we're going to have to match. We're going to match their physicality, their toughness, and display our brand of football. We did some good things in that game. We're going to have to get a little better down in the red zone, getting ready to play these guys, but our guys are definitely up for the challenge.
Tez, you've been balling out on special teams throughout the year, but what's it been like getting these snaps on defense?
It's everything I wish for. Since week one, I just, been falling in place, doing whatever the team need me to do, whether that's special teams or defense. I finally get my shot, and I'm going to take the best advantage of my opportunities.
Jets Game Day is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information. Coming up on Jets Game Day, Bart Scott breaks down the Patriots and the Jets. Bart, what else do you have for us this week?
Here's my next breakdown. All season long, I've been searching for the Pepsi tailgate MVP. So let's see the best from this season, because Jets tailgate is incomplete without a Pepsi. You got that? You getting that? Bart Scott here at MetLife Stadium, my former home, and we're here to find a Pepsi tailgate MVP that delivers bold flavors to pair with this Pepsi Zero Sugar, baby. Can't wait!
Let's go!
You got a wing ready?
That's a barbecue wing.
That's solid. I just followed my nose and it brought me right here. I hear you have maybe the best sandwich, period. Oh, wow, is that the T-bone?
No, that's filet mignons, baby.
I keep hearing about these tacos. Look at that right here. The perfect blend, and then that cheese just explodes in your mouth.
Little twang back there, right? A little twang.
And nothing goes better with that twang than Pepsi Zero Sugar. And because of that, you are officially a Pepsi Tailgate MVP.
J-E-T-S! Jets, Jets, Jets!
Have you circled that number next to Breece Hall right now? He's at 954. I think he gets to 1,000 for the first time in his career with 46 yards.
Hey, that'll be huge. That'll be huge. I told him that's what we're going for this year. So that's the plan.
Now it's time for Inside the Numbers, brought to you by the New York Lottery. Our first number is 54, as in the amount of rushing yards Breece Hall tallied last week against the Saints, meaning he's just 46 yards away from his first 1,000-yard season on the ground. Hall's backfield mate Isaiah Davis showcased his ability week 16, but through the air as he racked up 52 yards receiving with a long of 25 yards. Keeping these two in the backfield can be effective against a Patriots defense who gave up 171 yards on the ground against the Ravens just a week ago. Jets fans, your lucky numbers for the week are 54, 46, 1, 52, and 25. Now it's time for a film breakdown presented by Moody's. Bart, take it away.
The Jets had a new front this week. One that I haven't seen them play a lot of is the odd front. And the odd front is simply head up on the guard, head up on the center, head up on the guard. And it's a five-man front. You see the two outside linebackers here is Will McDonald and Quincy Williams. Sherwood, the long ranger, sits, so to speak, at the second level. But what I like about this is pretty much, cover one. You got a middle safety, you got man-to-man coverage here, man-to-man coverage here, man-to-man coverage here. The Saints came out in what you call a bunch set, And a bunch is pretty much whenever you have 3 guys within a short distance. But now this is what we call flow. We have 4 strong backside covered, backside 4x1, so to speak. Those usually trigger a lot of things, but what the Jets did uniquely here is they blitzed a lot out of their out front. And if you let the play go, you'll see as the motion comes, the man-to-man coverage comes, so now you end up with 2 snug fits. And snug fits is pretty much 2 guys in a bunch without a third person. This guy makes it a bunch, 3 or more. But as the play continues, they were trying to match and see if it's man-to-man or if it's zone. And once the tight end went outside of number 1 and the DB went with the motion, they knew that it was cover 1. But the beauty of it here, and what I want you to watch, is I want you to watch Briggs head up, and I want you to watch Sherwood start on the right side and then loop to the left side. This back here has him in coverage, comes here, and he has to try and make a move to put pressure on the quarterback. He gets over the top, throws the ball. Stiggers does a great job in making sure that he fights through the trash, but also high pointing the ball, keeping his hands up to cause the PBU. Once again, we have this odd front again, head up on the guards, outside shade of the guards. We have, McDonald, we have Clemens inside this time. We have Jermaine Johnson on the outside. And as the play goes, this is pretty much just a line stunt. What's going on? And this is good because they caught us kind of communicating. Sherwood, trying to figure out who has Taysom Hill. As Taysom Hill comes back with the snug, we actually don't have anybody over here on Taysom Hill. Right here, Sherwood comes and Taysom Hill actually does him a favor by coming back into the box instead of running vertical because we wouldn't have had him covered. But I want you to pay attention here before the play goes. Let's go back and watch Will McDonald, all 240 pounds of him inside. He's going to step up and then he's going to take the attention of the guard. He's going to back pick the center. But the important part is for Briggs to step here and wait and be patient and not go too fast so they can see it and pass it off. He has to press as if he's trying to bull rush him, hold him up and wait for the pick. And once he feels the pick, his job is to make sure that he beats the guard nice and tight around the corner. So as the play starts, he comes up, presses, Will McDonald gets on the hip, he comes around and he gets the sack. This is a sack that's set up by being patient, but also by making sure that you wait for the pick, being physical at the point, and coming around the hold tight.
Thank you, Bart. As always, when we return on Jets Game Day, we'll give you our final thoughts before kickoff at MetLife Stadium. Keep it here. This film breakdown is brought to you by Moody's, proud partner of the New York Jets. Get 100% verified tickets to every upcoming game at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Jets and the NFL.
As far as Brady goes, as a guy who's played a couple games now, he's kind of got his feet wet and he's learning on the job, which has been really good. He's done some really nice things and done some things that we definitely can improve upon, and we talk about that and we work on that in practice, and I look forward to continuing to see his growth over the next this game and going forward.
I think I'm handling it. I think as a young quarterback, it's important to be critical of yourself. These are very important reps and moments and opportunities for me to review myself and really understand where I'm at and where I need to improve. I think I'd be doing a disservice to myself if I wasn't extremely critical of myself right now. And obviously that's not pouting, that's not expressing that to anybody else, but behind closed doors, it's taking notes on every single rep and understanding where I need to get better. The ability to, in-game, get your guys together, circle them up, make adjustments, make sure you're on the same page, because games are long, things happen, things are different than what you prepared for that week, and you've got to make changes and make sure you're on the same page. So I think it's important. It's something I'm going to continue to do.
I feel like everybody in the huddle believes in him, you know what I'm saying, and he demands that, you know what I'm saying, but I feel like his preparation, every Monday, every Tuesday, he'll hit up the guys, let's watch some film together, make sure we're on the same page. So the biggest thing that stand out when I think of Brady Cook is his leadership and his confidence. And them two things that people could buy into. You know what I'm saying? When you're a leader and you're confident, people around you could buy in and let everything else take care of itself.
The things that I thought about him from the beginning hasn't changed as far as I think he's highly competitive. I think he's composed. I think he understands our offense. Obviously, again, there's some things that we have to do better to help him. There's some things that he has to do better to help himself also. But yeah, I think all those traits that we talked about before are still things that I look forward to seeing with him continue to improve as he continue to get these starts.
That was your locker room roundup presented by Dunkin'. The Jets run on Dunkin'. All righty, gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time to make your case. EA, you're up first. Brady Cook is in line to make his third start. How would you tailor the Jets' offensive game plan in order to get him activated early and finding success through the air?
I think the Patriots are going to load the box against Brady Cook, and they're also going to try to take away Breece Hall. I'd like to see the Jets take some shots down the field with guys like Adonai Mitchell, because then that's going to make them back up in the secondary and create more running lanes for Breece Hall and Isaiah Davis. I also would like to see the Jets get Breece Hall and Davis more involved in the receiving game, because those guys are not only threats running the football, I think they can do some damage out of the backfield. You look what King Henry did last week on the ground against the Patriots. I think Breece Hall can get it going, but the Jets have to throw the ball down the field vertically early in this game.
All right, Bart, how would you evaluate Chris Harris's first game running the defense, and what areas of the defense do you want to see them build upon and improve on for this Week 17 matchup?
Well, for me, it's always, first of all, I thought he did a good job. I thought he had command of the defense, and I thought he put his personality into some of the calls. I saw a lot of odd fronts, and there was a lot of movement and blitzes off of it. And, you saw one with Briggs, Scott back there. That was a line stunt without any blitzing. But the key to any game is always not giving up 7, not giving up a lot of explosive plays, but really getting off the field on third down. I want them to have good third down efficiency, getting off the field, giving the ball back to the offense, and trying to flip the field with our outstanding special teams.
Okay, quick bonus question for both of you, and just, play along with me here. Breece Hall needs 46 yards to reach 1,000. Will he get it done against the Patriots? And if yes, what quarter is it happening in, EA?
I say he will do it, and I'll take the second quarter. How about that early?
Yeah, I was going to take the second quarter too, but I would love to see the Jets, instead of being able to try and pack it in, because the Patriots can pack it in, I would spread them out and run out of a wide type of formation, because it gives Breece more lanes. If you bring in heavy guys, they're going to bring in heavy guys. There's not going to be a lot of space. But if you bring in a lot of little guys, spread it out, because also you can isolate Breece on some of these linebackers as well if you go with 3 wides and spread everything out. But Cook's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Most definitely. All right, EA, you have the floor. Final thoughts. Lay it on us.
This is the last home game of the 2025 season for the Jets, and it's also a game within a division. The Jets have yet to taste victory inside the AFC East. So you're going to be battling this Patriots team for years. They have it set up with Mike Vrabel and Drake May. I want the Jets to take advantage of an opportunity of being Grinch, of being spoiler. I want them to raise their level of play against a Patriots team is going to be in the postseason. Treat it like a playoff game yourself and show the world what you're made of.
I mean, for me, it's just about finishing strong. This team will never be the same again. Every year is a new year, and you have to really embrace it, because if you're a football player, eventually you won't have any more seasons, and you have to make sure that also that you respect the older players that's been around, because they're closer to the end than they are to the beginning. And if you're a young guy, you can't take it for granted that you can be able to play in this league and stay in this league. Every time we step out there, we're risking our health and our well-being, and you never know what play can be your last.
And finishing this season on a high note, then having that kind of bleed over into the offseason would be the perfect way to end this. Thanks so much for watching Jets Game Day, presented by Audi, everybody. Next week, the Jets go on the road for their last game of the 2025 season. Crazy to think that it is already this far in the season and we're almost done. But they will be at Highmark Stadium taking on the Buffalo Bills, and we will be here getting you ready for that matchup. We'll see you then.